What if I told you the most stunning garden upgrades don't come from stores, but from your trash bin? In this video, you'll discover backyard transformations so clever, your neighbors will wonder how you did it. All made from bottles, cans, and scrap wood. This is Archon Aesthetic Studio, where small ideas grow into big beauty. You'll find timestamps below to jump to any project that inspires you. Have a question? Drop it in the comments. And if something here speaks to you, take it, build it, make it your own. I might just be another face on your screen, but this content is a real part of my life. Every like, every comment, every subscribe, it means more than you know. You're not just supporting a channel, you're keeping a family's dream alive. Thank you for watching. Thank you for seeing me. One, plastic bottle garden edging with rustic wood frame. In the quiet corners of a backyard, transformation begins not with money, but with intention. And sometimes, with nothing more than yesterday's plastic bottle. What you see here is more than a garden border. It's a quiet rebellion against waste, and a soft celebration of creativity. Rows of clear and green bottles, once discarded without thought, now stand tall, upside down, filled with soil or air, embedded neatly within weathered wood. Their symmetry, intentional. Their shimmer, a reflection of sunlight and second chances. Walk closer. Smell the rosemary, feel the crisp basil brushing your fingertips. Watch butterflies pause briefly on thyme that grows dense and wild, as if grateful for the recycled frame that holds their roots in place. There's a story in each detail, the watering can waiting patiently nearby, the soft mulch that hugs the soil like a blanket, and the gravel path that crunches gently beneath slow morning steps. Now glance across the fence. The second garden appears louder, more joyful, a splash of color you can't ignore. Red, yellow, green, and blue bottles line a low black border like tiny soldiers in parade, protecting daisies, lavender, and hydrangeas that sway in summer air. It's whimsical, yet smart. The bottles aren't just bright. They guide the eye, define space, and stand sturdy as mini walls. They show that recycling isn't always rustic. Sometimes it's playful and proud. And then comes the third garden, half utility, half poetry. Green bottles, carefully aligned, embrace tomato plants bursting with fruit, lettuce glowing with life, and marigolds glowing orange like sunlight trapped in petals. Every bottle not only marks the edge but also helps retain warmth in the soil and protects young stems from wind. It's not just beautiful, it's intentional design, functional, resilient. You see, trash doesn't belong in landfills, it belongs in your landscape. These are not just DIYs, they are invitations to slow down, to work with your hands, to find beauty where most people never look, to build, even when you think you have nothing to build with. If you feel inspired, don't overthink it. Start small. Use what you already have. Let your imagination grow roots in your own backyard. And if these visuals sparked something inside you, know this. Maybe to you, I'm just another face on a screen. But behind every bottle in this video, there's a story. Behind this channel, there's a real family. Every like, every comment, every subscribe, It keeps this journey alive. Thank you for watching. Thank you for seeing what others overlook. Now go and build something beautiful. Two, colorful soda can win spinners for tiny patios. Sometimes the smallest corners hold the most unexpected charm. Tucked in the privacy of a bamboo-lined patio or under the soft frame of a wooden pergola, a quiet transformation begins. Soda cans, forgotten and empty, reborn as playful ornaments that dance in the breeze. Their shapes are no longer rigid or dull. They spiral and spin. They flutter like butterflies, glowing with soft pastels or bold, primary colors that reflect sunlight like stained glass in motion. It's a simple idea, and that's what makes it so beautiful. Cut, paint, hang, and suddenly, your space has personality. Movement, joy. Look closely and you'll see more than decoration. You'll see a story unfolding. A collection of carefully placed potted plants, marigolds glowing orange with pride, mint leaves swaying in the wind, and baby's breath blooming like scattered snow, all surrounding these upcycled works of art. In another corner, a single soda can hang from a string inside a golden spiral, swaying gently among hanging baskets of ivy and bright petunias. The breeze catches it at just the right moment, and it twirls. Not too fast, not too slow, just enough to catch your eye and make you pause. This isn't just about decoration. It's about reclaiming stillness. It's about giving life to something lifeless and turning what was once waste into wonder. You don't need a large space to make something beautiful. A few cans, a few plants, a bit of patience, and suddenly, even the tiniest patio becomes a place you want to return to again and again. If you're thinking of trying it, don't wait. These spinners don't ask for perfection, just intention. Cut carefully, paint with joy, and let the wind do the rest. And as they turn and glimmer in the sunlight, know this. It's not about how grand your space is. It's about how deeply it reflects your creativity. It's about what you make with what you already have. That's the heart of what we do here. This isn't just a project. It's a way of seeing. And maybe, just maybe, it'll make your neighbors a little curious too. Three, DIY bottle fence for small backyard privacy. There are places we create not just to be seen, but to be felt, to be still. A fence, at first glance, is nothing more than a boundary. But in the right hands, it becomes a frame, a canvas, a story told in glass and light. This one is made entirely from bottles. Some green, some blue, some perfectly clear, like old memories kept in sunlight. They're stacked, row by row, within a wooden frame, catching rays as the day moves. At certain hours, the light pours through and breaks into color. It dances across the grass like reflections on water. But this isn't just about privacy. It's about serenity. Behind the glass, hibiscus blooms. There's a bench nearby, quiet, inviting, waiting for the kind of conversation that doesn't need words. And in another corner, the bottles change. They're filled now, layer by layer, with sand and earth. Tones of white, tan, and rust creating natural gradients. as if echoing the layers of the soil below. Behind them, sunflowers stretch high, the kind that always find the sun no matter where they're planted. Nearby, a wheelbarrow rests, its work done for the day. You don't need expensive panels or polished gates to define your space. Just rhythm, repetition, and the courage to turn something used into something useful. Then there's the mosaic patio, quiet, patterned, joyful. Wine bottles and soda bottles alternate in the fence behind, giving form and texture without closing you in. Morning glory vines reach upward, wrapping around glass and wire with gentle ambition. This fence doesn't block the world out. It reframes it, lets light through, but softens the noise. Each bottle in these fences tells a different story. A dinner shared, a celebration, a quiet night in. And now they stand together in silence, holding space, holding light, holding possibility. If you build this, you don't just reclaim materials. You reclaim intention. You reshape your own rhythm. A fence doesn't have to divide. It can protect, reflect, and inspire. So take what you have, line it up, give it structure, let it shine, and maybe, while the sun hits it just right, you'll feel what it means to turn boundaries into beauty. Four, Origami-Style plastic flower wall for garden borders. Some gardens whisper, others sing. And then there are gardens like this, quietly radiant, impossibly joyful, where color becomes the language of care. This is more than just decoration. It's a celebration of what could have been thrown away, but instead was chosen. Chosen to be reshaped, repainted, reimagined. Take a closer look and you'll see it. Petals made from bottle plastic, carefully cut and folded into origami blooms that mimic lilies, sunflowers, daisies. Some are simple, others more layered, each one a small act of transformation. A garden wall becomes a gallery, a border becomes a canvas, and every piece speaks of effort, of thought, of quiet joy stitched into every fold. In one corner, they hang on a bamboo frame, paired with pots of lavender and thyme. The contrast is striking, soft real plants with fragrant leaves, standing beside vibrant plastic petals that never fade. Under the morning sky, it feels like a meeting of past and present, organic and crafted. Move down the path and the colors shift. Now it's an explosion of blue, pink, yellow, cheerful, bright, unapologetically fun. They sit behind a bed of lettuce and baby greens, proving that beauty and function aren't enemies. A vegetable garden can be stunning. It can have personality. It can smile back at you. And then comes the wall that stops you in your tracks. A long lattice, filled edge to edge with an orchestra of color. Each flower folded from translucent bottles, some still carrying the faint marks of their original labels, now reborn into something completely new. Red, orange, white, blue, gold, like a handmade stained glass mosaic catching the afternoon sun. Below it, real tulips rise in admiration, blooming in harmony with the wall behind them. You might ask, how is this even possible? The answer is simple. With scissors, heat, paint, and patience. But more than anything, with care. It's what turns a bottle into a blossom, a piece of waste into a point of pride. So if your garden wall is bare, if your border feels forgotten, let your hands try something unexpected. Let your creativity lead. There's something magical about taking the ordinary and making it unmissable. And when the wind brushes past, and these flowers tremble just slightly in the light, you'll know it was worth every cut, every twist, every second. This isn't just about recycling. It's about wonder, and giving color back to the world, one petal at a time. Five, hanging bottle lanterns for pergola ambience. When the sun begins to lower and the world softens into silence, there's something sacred about a garden wrapped in light. This is not the glow of modern fixtures or manufactured design. It's something more personal, more thoughtful. Bottles, glass and forgotten, reborn as vessels of warmth. Their curves now softened by candlelight, their past lives irrelevant. Tonight, they hold flickers of comfort, suspended gently from timber beams, swaying just slightly as the air cools. You step onto the stone path beneath a wooden pergola. Above you, amber light spills downward from these bottle lanterns, casting golden halos across aged benches and fresh soil. Jasmine and lavender frame the scene, their scent subtle, their presence grounding. It's hard to imagine this place without them now. Elsewhere, a different scene unfolds. A table is set under another pergola. It's quiet, intimate. Painted bottles, faded turquoise, gentle green, soft ochre, hang in a slow-moving cloud overhead. The dining area is surrounded by climbing ivy and soft white roses. There are no harsh shadows here, only layers of light that shift with every breath of wind. These lanterns don't demand attention, they invite presence. This isn't just a dinner spot, it's a memory waiting to be made. And just beyond, more lanterns glow among jasmine vines that curl along the posts. The garden no longer feels like part of the yard. It feels like an extension of the soul. The fence, the flowers, the flicker, all in quiet conversation. Recycled bottles, now polished and proud, host candlelight that glimmers like fireflies at dusk. It's not difficult to do. A little string, a little patience, a flame, but the result is timeless. The message is simple. Beauty doesn't require perfection. And what was once empty, once discarded, can become the most radiant part of your space. So if you've ever felt like your garden is missing something, maybe it's not structure or space. Maybe it's just softness. Maybe it's just light. Maybe it's just the touch of something made with your own hands. Let these lanterns remind you. You don't have to buy peace. You can build it, one bottle at a time. Six, mini Japanese garden with recycled cans and bamboo. In the quietest corner of a backyard, something unexpected breathes. It's not grand. It doesn't shout, but it listens, and it invites you to do the same. This is where stillness becomes beauty. A small Japanese-inspired garden, lovingly shaped from natural elements and humble materials. A bamboo fountain gently feeds a stone basin, its rhythm steady and thoughtful. Nearby, hostas unfold like soft green fans, and purple irises stand alert, their color as deep as twilight. But look again, more closely. The blooms around the fountain are not born from soil, but from soda cans. Cut, curled, and painted, they imitate the form of petals and give the garden a subtle twist of wonder. What once was trash now carries elegance. A reminder that even the discarded can hold grace. A few steps away, white gravel is raked in curved lines, patterns of peace under your feet. A single Japanese maple rises from a mound of moss, its branches stretching like brushstrokes across the sky. Hanging beneath its canopy, origami cranes made from flattened cans catch the breeze. Each one dangles in perfect balance, light enough to dance but strong enough to remain. And then, just at the garden's edge, you discover koi. Not swimming, but resting. Each one shaped from the same material, aluminum once forgotten, now honored. These recycled sculptures, shaped like fish, lie scattered on pebbles as if they're drifting in a sea of stone. They shimmer under the sun like metal dreams. This is not about mimicry. It's about merging worlds. Traditional textures meet playful upcycling. Precision meets imperfection. Nature meets human hands, crafting something small, meaningful, and deeply personal. This space does not require vast land or grand budgets. Only the willingness to slow down, to see potential, and to give form to calm. So, if your garden feels too small, too plain, too quiet, know this. It only takes intention to transform it. A bottle, a can, a strand of bamboo, and a belief that even the smallest patch of earth can become a sanctuary. You don't have to escape to find peace. Sometimes, you can build it right beside your back door. Seven, DIY farmhouse herb wall using crate wood and bottles. In the soft golden light of morning, a simple wooden crate clings to a whitewashed wall. Weathered, imperfect, yet full of promise. Within its frame, glass bottles, once tossed aside, now cradle something far more precious: life. Basil, mint, oregano, rosemary. Their scents mingle in the breeze, a gentle reminder that nature thrives in the most humble of vessels. This herb wall isn't just about practicality. It's a poem of second chances. Each bottle, cut and planted with care, tells a story of transformation, from discard to delight. Twine loops hold them steady. Small chalk tags swing gently like old country wind chimes. They carry names not only of herbs, but of intention. A watering can rests nearby. Terracotta pots wait with patience. Ivy climbs in quiet confidence. The whole scene whispers farmhouse charm, but not the polished kind. It's the lived-in beauty of things made by hand and used with love. And while the world scrolls quickly by, this wall garden asks you to pause, to run your fingers across time leaves, still warm from the sun, to remember that food can grow just outside your door. That freshness doesn't need acres, only sunlight, soil, and a reused bottle. If you've ever believed you didn't have the space to grow something meaningful, let this be your gentle reminder that even scraps can feed your soul. This isn't just DIY. This is what it means to care for something, to grow it, to watch it give back, season after season. So look again at that empty crate, at that row of bottles in your recycling bin, at that blank wall on your patio, because that's not trash. It's the beginning of your garden story. Eight, recycled bottle Seascape feature for small space landscaping. In the quiet corners of a garden, beauty can whisper like a tide coming in. Here, cast-off bottles find their second life as ocean waves, their colors dancing in light, glinting with the soft memory of sea and sky. The green curves of glass, the deep blues of plastic, arranged in gentle motion. It feels like a shoreline frozen in time. A fence, once ordinary, becomes a canvas for creativity. Blue bottle shards swirl into a mosaic of crashing surf. Suspended from above, green and cobalt bottle fish float with playful charm, their shadows moving as the sun crosses overhead. Beneath them, a shore of smooth white stones blends into vivid blue gravel, a handmade beach for tiny wanderings. Elsewhere, small succulents rise like sea creatures from the sand. Driftwood rests gently, washed ashore in form if not in journey. A lighthouse sculpture stands as a keeper of this miniature coast, and seashells scatter like stories untold. It's a seascape without water, but full of life. This is not a space for extravagance. It's a testament to thoughtful detail. A corner transformed with things most would throw away. A tribute to texture, balance, and the quiet joy of doing something meaningful with your own hands. If you have a fence, you have a canvas. If you have a bottle, you have a brush. And if you have the patience to place each piece, then you have all it takes to bring the ocean to your doorstep. This garden doesn't need salt in the air or waves at your feet. Just imagination. Just effort. Just the belief that what's broken can still become beautiful. And that, truly, is the heart of every DIY, not perfection, but presence. So take what you've seen, let it drift through you like sea breeze. Then go create your own tide, right there, in your little patch of the world. Nine, thrifty raised beds from junk wood and plastic. Sometimes, the most generous gardens don't grow from wealth, but from intention. In these humble raised beds, there are no glossy catalog boxes, no pristine perfection. Instead, there's truth. Crate sides once left on loading docks now cradle kale and tomatoes. Plastic bottles that once held water now form garden walls. Old pallets, mismatched boards, even a forgotten chair, all find new purpose in the rich rhythm of growing things. What was discarded becomes a cradle for life. This garden doesn't ask for luxury. It thrives on resourcefulness. A barrel cut in half, filled with earth and promise, gives birth to golden peppers and nasturtiums that spill like laughter across the edges. A weathered wooden frame, lined with clear bottles like stained glass windows, lets in sunlight and story. Even the ground tells its tale. Straw paths guiding you between beds, ceramic tile stepping stones salvaged and set with care. A single wooden sign whispers its truth, fresh garden. And fresh it is. Zucchini stretch their arms, parsley rustles in the breeze, tomatoes blush with pride. All under open sky, in honest light, nothing filtered but the shade from a passing cloud. And this is the secret your neighbors won't believe. That a thriving, photogenic, bountiful backyard oasis could come not from a trip to the store, but from a walk to your shed. From a glance at your recycling bin, from a willingness to create, not consume. If you've ever wondered what could grow from nothing, let these raised beds show you. Because when you stop waiting for perfect and start planting with what you have, the earth always answers. And the beauty that blooms, it's not just from the soil, it's from you. Cutest upcycled can planters for small patios. There's something magical about tiny spaces. They invite us to think smaller, gentler, and more beautifully. On this quiet patio corner, everyday soda cans find a second life. But not just any life. A joyful one, brimming with daisies and laughter, herbs and sunshine. These cans once held fizz and sugar. Now, they hold soil and soul. With a touch of paint and a lot of heart, they become vessels for life. Some are brushed with soft pastels, their round bodies now smiling back at you with the innocence of hand-drawn faces. Others are decorated in rustic farmhouse patterns, aged and charming, echoing stories from old recipe books and vintage jars. Then there are the bold ones, golden, turquoise, and coral, shimmering proudly on a tray, surrounded by warm mugs and blooming calendulas. Each tells a different tale, one of creativity, one of care, one of choosing beauty where others see waste. Stacked neatly on wood shelves or hanging in rows on a fence, these cans bring charm and color to patios that might otherwise feel forgotten. And they ask for so little. A bit of soil, a sprig of mint, a morning of your time. What they give in return is warmth, cheer, and that undeniable smile from guests who stop to ask, "Where did you get these?" And when you answer, "I made them," they look again. This time, with wonder. That's the secret. You don't need big yards to grow something that feels like home. You just need to start with whatever you have in your hands. In this story, even a can has a second chance. And maybe, so do we. DIY gazebo decor from painted trash bottles. There's a quiet kind of magic that happens when waste finds purpose. Imagine stepping into your garden and seeing a cascade of butterflies and birds, not real, but sculpted from bottles that once held nothing more than soda or water. Painted in cheerful tones, they flutter gently in the breeze, dancing above a table set for tea. The sun glints off their glossy surfaces, giving the illusion of motion and life. This isn't just decoration, it's conversation, charm, and cleverness, all in one. Repurposed plastic takes center stage in the most unexpected way. In one corner, a gazebo beams in whites and lavenders. The bottles, painted in floral tones, are transformed into delicate blooms, each one strung in graceful strands like beaded curtains that softly frame a cozy outdoor retreat. Cushions, soft throws, and blooming hydrangeas complete the scene. It feels like a page from a dreamy countryside novel, and yet, it's built with nothing but creativity and what others threw away. Then there's the sunset setting, bright oranges, pinks, and yellows, strung above a dining table like joyful lanterns. These plastic bottles, cut, shaped, and arranged in clusters, glow brilliantly under the daylight. Ivy climbs slowly up each pillar, as if nature itself is nodding in approval. The entire setup turns a simple meal into an experience, bold, warm, and memorable. This is more than just DIY. It's about seeing beauty where others don't. About turning a throwaway bottle into a burst of joy. And the best part? You can do it too. No need for expensive materials, just a bit of paint, some string, and a vision of something better. Let your outdoor space tell a story. One of color, of transformation, and of everyday magic. Would you like the next narration set? Upcycled bamboo garden edging with trash accents. Some of the most magical transformations don't begin in design studios or high-end stores. They start right at home, with a leftover bottle cap, a crushed can, a plastic fork too flimsy to use again. And with a little imagination, they grow into something extraordinary. In this garden, beauty begins at the edges. Instead of commercial borders, the garden beds are framed with natural bamboo, standing tall and grounded in earthy warmth. But what makes these borders so charming, so impossible to ignore, are the touches of whimsy born from what others might have thrown away. In one corner, flattened soda cans have been reshaped into metallic petals, forming cheerful pinwheels and flowers that spin gently in the breeze. Painted in bright reds and blues, they bring a flash of delight to the herb path, where basil leaves sway beneath their recycled guardians. A few steps away, painted bottle caps, once tossed aside without thought, now create intricate mosaic rosettes between bamboo poles. Each cap is part of a story. Drinks shared, celebrations remembered, days gone by. And now they live on, giving this garden a rhythm of creativity and renewal. Further in, where the vegetables grow thick and green, tiny butterflies flutter above the soil. They're not real, but they're crafted with care. Wings cut from soft plastic bottles, antennae shaped from salvaged forks. Their presence tells you this garden isn't just grown, it's imagined. And that's the wonder of this approach. It doesn't just teach you to recycle, it invites you to see possibility in everything. So if you've ever looked at your garden and thought it needed more heart, more story, more soul, maybe you already have everything you need. A few old materials, a pair of willing hands, and a corner of the world waiting to be made beautiful by you. Recycled fence art from soda cans and plastic flowers. In the quiet corners of a backyard where the fence once faded into the background, something magical now happens. What was once ordinary, aluminum soda cans, empty plastic bottles, discarded bits of colored trash, has become a living, joyful expression of creativity. Each flower, each bird, each splash of color on this humble wooden fence tells a story. A story not of waste, but of transformation. A story of eyes that saw beauty in the broken and hands that believed in second chances. With just a bit of imagination and some common tools, these fences were reborn into murals of joy. Flattened soda cans are cut and curled into petals, reds and silvers gleaming in the natural light. Even the sharp edges of metal become soft and playful when reshaped into blooms. Plastic bottles, once destined for landfill, now stretch into rainbows and wings, forming vines that cascade across timber slats, or birds that seem to fly midair. It's a gentle reminder that art doesn't need to be expensive, and beauty doesn't need to be perfect. Below these masterpieces, flowers bloom. Cosmos sway gently, salvia stands tall, and daisies beam upward like children admiring a mural painted just for them. The contrast is striking, nature growing fresh below, and nature reimagined above. This isn't just a DIY project. It's a garden whisper. It tells your neighbors and yourself that every object still holds possibility, that something broken can become something beloved. And if you're wondering how to start with one bottle, one can, one moment of curiosity. Paint it, shape it, see where it takes you. Because sometimes, the most extraordinary things begin with the simplest decisions. If this video meant something to you, please know that subscribing means the world to me. You're not just supporting content, you're supporting a dream that keeps my family going. Thank you, truly. I'd also love to hear from you. What did you enjoy the most? Is there anything I could do better to keep inspiring or simply entertaining you? Your feedback helps this channel grow with heart and purpose. Let me know in the comments. I read every one.